I spent my early 20s hiding. I hid a lot. I hid in alcohol, I hid in food, I hid in events, I hid in ambition, I hid in gossip, social media, travel. I did a lot of hiding. And when I found the Lord, I think I assumed that my hiding would be over and I would stop because I was welcomed into this incredible freedom that no longer necessitated hiding. But then I just learned to hide in other places. I found a way to hide in the body of Christ and in the church. I hid while I mimicked other people's personalities. I was hiding in my decision to ignore other people's contempt for me while I was trying to become more like them. And then I hid in trying to fulfill their expectations. And then I also hid in the guilt that was imposed on me when I didn't meet those expectations and those needs. There was a very heavy silence in which I suppressed all of the instincts that made me me. And I doubled down on my hiding while I was in the body of Christ. And it was exhausting. Years had passed by, and I looked up and I found myself hiding in a life that just did not fit right. I wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I wasn't who I was meant to be. And I had been hiding for so long that even though I couldn't shake the sense that something was wrong, I felt stuck. And I couldn't do anything about it because I didn't trust those instincts anymore. I had suppressed and punished them for so long that I couldn't read them. I couldn't recognize them. I couldn't evaluate them. I certainly couldn't advocate for them. I just needed to go further. My name is Shauna Knox, and this is Further, where we explore the real Christ and the real you. The way to life is extremely narrow, and very few of us ever find it. But let's keep looking. We'll do it together. So let's start in the Garden of Eden, where Adam, Eve, and I were having a similar hiding problem. Adam was with Eve, but neither Adam nor Eve was with God. What happened there? What is that thing where we learn to really be with each other, but not really be with God? In the backstory, Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, God's creation. And in that garden, there's a tree that God tells them not to eat from. And God also tells them that if they eat from this tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then they would die. Adam and Eve ate from the tree, and they were still alive. Instead of dying, something really strange happened. They started hiding from each other and from God. Could this mean then that the death that God was talking about was being hidden from him and being hidden from ourselves? I want us to consider it. I want us to talk about what we see and what we think we know and what we're noticing as we reflect. And I want us to do more than just mentally think about these things. I want us to be transformed by them, to question ourselves, and to allow what we find to mold and shape the outcomes in our lives. So Adam was hiding, and Eve was hiding, and I was hiding. But are you? Are you hiding? I mean, you could be hiding in other people's expectations of you. You could be hiding in your reputation, your title, other people's approval. You can hide in good things, fulfilling things, important things, even kingdom things. Adam and Eve disobeyed God, and they hid, and it killed them. They didn't stop breathing, but when the Lord asked Adam, "Where are you?" he said, "I was afraid to be naked in your presence." Afraid to be naked in the presence of God. He was hiding. So you're either naked or you're hiding. Adam became afraid of being naked in the presence of God, and as a result of that fear, he started hiding. So there was a sin of eating of the fruit, and then the fear, and then the hiding, which God calls its own type of death. Because emotionally and relationally, we were created to be messy and imperfect, and wrong, and insecure, and naked, all at the same time before God. But when we go into hiding, that is what we lose. That is what kills us. We have a fundamental need to be naked in the presence of God. And if we can't be naked in the presence of the Lord, in every place in our souls, we are dying. But if we're dying now, we don't have to keep going that way. I have some questions. And I want you to go against the inclination to listen to the question, do a quick mental inventory, and then give an answer that you want to be true because you figure you're close enough. What we're really doing when we do that is we're talking about things as if they are what we wish they would be. We're finding out how to make them appear that way. And in that framing process, we're actually convincing ourselves that what we're saying is what's true about us. But that is just hiding in answers. We hide in answers we prefer to answers that are true, the naked ones. But I want us to strip ourselves right now in this moment of doing that and go further to the truth, the true answers. So without leading yourself to an answer, let's consider a few questions. The first question: are you hiding from God, or are you naked in His presence? Now, you're multifaceted, so that answer may not be the same for every area of your life, every area of your hopes and your dreams. So I want you to look everywhere to see if anything in you is dying because you've hidden it. That instinct to hide comes from a desire to be invisible. Are you hiding in a life that you chose because it made it easy for you to disappear? If we want to know who we were created to be, the project of this podcast, we have to know where we're starting from. We have to know where we are right now. We need to know if you're hiding. So when you hear God's footsteps coming closer, is your instinct to draw near to Him, or is it to retreat? Are you scared to be with God? I have done my share of hiding. I hid in a life that was too small for me because it was easy. I knew what to expect. I mastered that life. I felt very much in control, and I honestly didn't want to be coaxed out of my hiding. I wasn't afraid of God. I was afraid of what He might ask of me. And even more than that, I was afraid that He would make me acknowledge things that I had gotten very good at avoiding. I was very good at avoiding things, even in the body of Christ. And actually, the death of hiding felt like living to me. But the possibility of being laid bare and being a disappointment to the Lord, that felt like the real death. But I was wrong. And my hiding was killing me. No matter where you are on this journey, seasoned saints, believers, seekers, curious ones, it is always good to do a check-in to be sure you aren't hiding from God. It's easy to hide, but let's come out of hiding together. Let us be visible again to Him and to ourselves. Until next time, grace and peace.